This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 233, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode I speak to Corporal Coma. Yes, the man you cannot understand is back. So if you're in the family, don't worry, you have the transcript. And we speak about how to get over disappointment, so how to recover from disappointment. Now, you probably have already worked out the connection of why we are talking about this, but I just want to tell you, for the non-football fans, we are not talking about football today. I apologise for talking about football so much, but it's part of me. It's one of my passions. And on this podcast, you see the real me. So I'm putting football on the back burner, let's say, until the World Cup next year. So when you put something on the back burner, it's when you make it a low priority, let's say. So we don't talk about football. We sometimes just use it as an example. But don't worry, no players' names, nothing like that. So yes, as I said, we are speaking about how to get over disappointment, because obviously I really wanted England to win. You know, I'm passionate about things. I'm passionate about football. I'm passionate about rock and roll English, but England didn't win. But that's sport though, isn't it? There are ups and downs, like life. So let's just enjoy the ride. And one important word today, in my opinion, is the word banter. We've had this before. Banter is like friendly jokes, okay? Friendly jokes are things like the weather in England is terrible. English people have dirty arses because they don't have bidets. Some banter I've seen recently is, it's coming home, yes, but not to your home, it's coming to Rome. Fantastic. I love banter. So let's keep it friendly, because I've also seen lots of stuff in the last few days, very hurtful to me. Things like English people are arrogant. I've even seen English people are racist. Now, there are English people that are arrogant, racist, and every other bad adjective you can think of. I'm obviously not going to deny that. But what I will tell you is I am not. So when you say English people are, you're including me, my friends, my family. And, you know, that's not very nice. So it's been a difficult few days for me since the match finished. Not for football. The best team won. Congratulations to Italy. In my opinion, they were the best team from the first match to the last. But it's been difficult for all of these things I keep hearing about English people. I've heard them even from people close to me. So let's avoid these generalizations, okay? Let's not judge a whole country based on the action of some idiots. Because for every idiot in my country and for every idiot in your country, there are at least 10 good, honest, hard-working people. So as I said, let's avoid generalizations because of a few idiots. So next time you find yourself saying English people are bad adjective, French people are bad adjective, Russian people are bad adjective, stop yourself and think we're all one, okay? I'm human, you're human. Spread love, not hate. Remember, these borders, they're man-made. I'm no different to you. I like talking about poos as well, just like you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't listen to the podcast. You were just born in a different place to me. So let's just keep it fun, okay? Keep it to the fun stuff. Let's keep the banter, which in my opinion is what Rock and Roll English is all about. It's all about banter and international community, especially the Rock and Roll English family, for example. That's a massive thing in the Rock and Roll English family. So I apologise for my rant. So a rant like moaning and complaining, because I'm sure rock and rollers like you would not say any of these horrible things. But because I've been hurt recently with these things said about English people, so about me, my friends, my family, I just wanted to say something. I needed to get it off my chest. So that's been done. So now let's get on to today's episode, where I have some banter with Corporal Coma about how to get over disappointment. So here is the episode. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Corporal Coma, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, Martin. Good to be back.
Yeah, you're not going to ask me how I am?
Every time I say to you, we've just been talking, I know how you are.
Yes, but it's part of the game, Coma, okay? Play the game. I'll answer the question anyway. I don't need to have questions to talk, okay? I'm always fantastic, okay? Even though England lost, still fantastic, okay? Thanks for asking.
Not so fantastic about that.
Never mind, Corporal. That kind of, we'll be talking a little bit about that. I don't want to ruin it. So before we get to that point, how do we usually start the show?
With a review.
Do you think we have a review?
I think we do.
Yeah, this is, like I said, Corporal Comer, this is all part of the game. It's like routines. Routines are important. I've mentioned this before. In, for example, children's classes, we have routines. Come to the class, take out your pencil cases. I write the date on the board. Everyone knows what's happening, okay? So the routines are important, and nothing is more rock and roll than a routine.
A military routine.
Exactly that. So yes, we do have a review, and my oh my, another lovely expression there to say this is just so amazing. It's from Alessandro. Easy name, that one. I'm very confident with that name. It's a iTunes 5 stars, my favourite type. It says a special podcast, and it says I started listening to R&R English back in April 2020. At the time, I was having difficulties in my life. I vividly remember the day when, whilst I was listening to one of the episodes, my mum said to me, I'm seeing a smile on your face for the first time in years. This is what rock and roll English means to me. A safe place where I can go that creates joy in my life. Thank you, Martin, and all of your friends. I love you. Oh, what do you think of that, Corporal Comer?
That's blown me away. That's heartwarming.
Absolutely, very heartwarming. So it makes your heart feel warm. Exactly that. An easy term, I suppose, to understand. Very heartwarming. You were included in it when it said, and all your friends. I was kind of expecting, thank you, Martin, and all your friends, brackets, except Corporal Comer. But that wasn't there. So thank you very, very, very much for that, Alessandro. You literally made my day when I saw that. And everyone has the opportunity to do this, obviously, by leaving me a review. So remember, please do that. So thanks one more time for that, Alessandro. So, Corporal Comer, on to today's show. Okay, I've kind of mentioned what we're going to be talking about, which is how to deal with disappointment. Okay, what we can do, because obviously we've both suffered. Corporal Comer more so than me, because you were actually at the stadium to see England lose to Italy, weren't you?
I was, yeah. It was quite a surreal experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. So quite surreal, almost quite strange. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So I did my 5 minutes research, as always. First of all, looked at the risk of disappointment, what it can cause. And it said it can cause lots of physical, emotional difficulties, such as greater frequency of headaches. Okay, which I thought immediately, that explains why I think often suffer from headaches, because I've just had a life of disappointment.
You do suffer a lot from headaches. It's quite bizarre how much your head aches.
Although, again, that was more or less when I was 20. Okay, I'm an absolute specimen now. Okay, just like you look at me and you just feel health. When you look at my skinny, hairy body, a person just thinks, wow, that is a healthy 36-year-old. Well, I'm still never comfortable calling myself a man. How about you, Corporal Comer?
Well, no, because when you look at bigger boys, you're like, yeah, I'm not really a man.
Exactly. So I was going to say that, a 36-year-old man, but I'm still not comfortable saying that, because until, I don't know, I weigh more than like 10 stone, I just don't think I can call myself a man. Because like you said, there are, well, I think bigger 15-year-olds than me. So, yeah, a 36-year-old boy.
Oh, yeah, I saw someone on a scooter earlier who was about 15 that definitely weighed more than me.
Exactly. So, yeah, are we men? Not sure. So, okay, back to how to deal with disappointment. Okay, first point that I got from the website said, avoid the people or the thing that made you feel bad. Okay, which for me has been quite difficult because I live in Italy. So I've kind of been reminded of the fact that England lost on numerous occasions, let's say.
Yeah, the Italian community in the city where I live is pretty much non-existent. It's basically your family. So, and I've not bumped into them. So, yeah, it's fine.
So, yes, for people that don't know, I do have Italian origins. My grandparents were Italian, but obviously Corporal Coma hasn't seen them, which isn't surprising. But yeah, I've had my face rubbed in it a lot. So when you rub someone's face in it, it's like you lose, and you just say, like, put your face in the dirt and just enjoy it a bit more, which so that's absolutely not useful advice for me. So another one here is a social media detox, okay, which I actually did. I took myself off social media for 48 hours. I mean, I had already planned this before the final, but then it just worked out perfectly to not look at social media and people writing things to me. The thing that got to me, Corporal Coma, was the personal stuff. I can take all day the football's coming to Rome and all of the other, you don't know how to cook pasta. That's the friendly stuff. But I did not enjoy that English people are arrogant. English people are this, because I thought, you're offending me and my family. I just take things too personal.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a social media boycott for about 35 years, so it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, Corporal Coma was boycotting social media 25 years ago when it didn't exist. He was very strongly against social media when we were in primary school, like, age 7. He was always very strongly against this. But yeah, as I said, I take things too personally, and so after I kept seeing these things, I wrote this very long message that I thought I was going to post on Facebook and say, like, look, it's not fair to paint everyone with the same brush, as we say, to say, like, English people are this. And I spent about 2 hours writing it, and then, because I wrote it in Italian, and then didn't do anything with it, and then kind of thought to myself, I'm being a bit stupid really here. I do look like the kid that's crying in the playground now because the kid's lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to kind of have a read over these things, maybe after a sleep, and then kind of, have a second thought about whether you're actually going to put it out there.
Exactly. Sleep on it, as we say. And I did sleep on it, and then I did think, I really am an idiot for trying to get involved in social media arguments. Although I say that, after my social media detox, which finished literally today, someone wrote something again directly to me, and I couldn't resist. I just bit immediately and said, no, that's not fair. You can't say that about English people in general. So it didn't work. But I tried. I tried.
It was a good couple of days, though.
Exactly. So the next one here is to go away and enjoy yourself. Okay, so basically go on holiday. Have you ever done that, Corporal Coma? So you've been disappointed, gone on holiday just to get over it?
I don't think so. I've gone on holiday to get over another holiday.
What the fuck? How does that work? What the disappointment of coming back from holiday? You thought, right, I need to go on holiday again.
Yeah, I went to Mexico and the flight was really long on the way back. So then basically went home for one night and then went to Bordeaux for a couple of days just to get over it.
I mean, that's a vicious circle that you're in there, because if you go by that logic, you would literally have to go on holiday forever and not stop.
Yeah, but Bordeaux to London was only like an hour and a half, whereas Mexico was like 11 hours. So it was a nice place to, just have a couple of glasses of wine, some good food, get over the jet lag.
Nice. So the jet lag is obviously like the change in time, let's say. I can imagine you in Bordeaux thinking you're French, sipping some French wine, eating like a baguette, and just generally pretending you're French. You only French words because you know some Spanish, because you've got some friends that live in Spain, haven't you?
Yeah, not so hot on my French, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
But like when I go to like Spain or Italy, like I can get by there. But yeah, in France, I just don't really know any French.
So when he says I can get by, I can like just about survive basically with the 3 Spanish words he knows, which is like beer, wine, and thank you.
Yeah, same in Italian.
Yes, similar. So don't need to worry. But yes, going on holiday to get over disappointments. I mean, I've literally travelled the world to like get over disappointments of being dumped by girls. So basically, every holiday I've ever been on has been to get over a disappointment, because otherwise I would just never. I would never pay to go on holiday. Simple as that.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if I'm going on holiday, you basically that's why. So another one is just let it out. So like, you know, smash some shit up, or like punch a pillow. That doesn't seem like your style, Corporal Coma.
No, I'm not a very aggressive person. It's not something that I would be doing. You could maybe do some exercise, go for a run, something like that.
Again, doesn't seem like you.
I'm more likely to go for a run than punch a pillow.
I think both are good options. This actually reminded me, though, of years ago, our mutual friend, the Hellraiser, was going around telling literally everyone that would listen that I was punching myself in the balls.
You were doing that, though. It was really weird when you were doing that.
But like so much that everyone was actually believing it. And I mean, the example of people believing it is I was playing football and my friend's dad was there, and after the match said to me, "What's this? I hear that you keep punching yourself in the balls." I just could not believe it, that this ridiculous rumour had gone so far. I mean, some normal rumours have some kind of truth in them. This was just literally utter bullshit. So total bullshit.
I feel like I remember seeing you do it. You were like, you didn't think anyone could see you, but I think you were in like a cupboard and you didn't think anyone could see you, and you were just going hell for leather on your balls.
So to be going hell for leather to like really start punching them. I mean, that's just, yeah. I mean, it's just so ridiculous that, I mean, I don't even know where to start. But again, going back to like how I just can't let things go. I think the Hellraiser maintained this because every time he mentioned it, I got angry and said, no, that's not true. You know, it was just making things, it was just putting petrol on the fire, really,
Yeah.
because that just made him do it more and more and more.
It's like he always says that apparently I wore my mum's tights. I mean, I just, that never happened.
Well, if I punch myself in the balls, then you were wearing your mum's tights. Okay.
Yeah, but also I never played up to it. I just like go, I think at one point I just went, yeah, cool, yeah. And I had him on my head as well. So you just got, with him, you've just got to play to it.
Not 100% sure that is true. But okay, so let's carry on with this. So another thing to do is think about the good times. Okay, so especially like for the tournament as well. Maybe thinking about the good times during the tournament, because there were a lot of them, weren't there, Corporal Coma?
There was, yeah. I'm being very pragmatic about it afterwards, and that's very much what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking at how great a tournament it was.
Absolutely.
All the great games that we played, the highs, just concentrate on the highs.
Exactly. It's just, yeah, life in general. It's all about the ups and downs. I actually thought as well, in my WhatsApp group called the Johnston Boys, which is me, my dad and my brother. It's a pretty fucking crazy WhatsApp group, let me tell you. We've got a logo as well, which I found on Google. It was like some Johnston logo, so it's pretty crazy. And I think it was after the Germany game, and I got my dad text that group saying, "Am I fucking dreaming?"
I've got exactly the same group with my brother and my dad, and it's called the Coma Boys. And the logo is just a picture of a orange Fanta, but instead of Fanta, it says banter.
So banter, I think I've mentioned this before, is one of my favourite words. Like the friendly jokes people say to each other. But yeah, that's good. Not Fanta, but banter. Very good. Yeah, those WhatsApp groups, it's amazing.
Yeah. That one does actually get a lot of action.
Right. Yeah, the one with the Johnston Boys gets a fair bit, I would say, a fair bit of action. So another one I've got here is I had to actually Google this word because it's got more than one syllable of how to say it. Ruminate. About what might have been. I thought the pronunciation was ruminate, but it's one of those really strange English words to ruminate. So don't keep thinking about what could have been. Okay, and again, I think I'm a sucker for this. This is something I do a lot. For example, recently, so baby R&R is having a christening this weekend on Sunday. So people might know that as like baptism. We call it a christening in English. And we had to buy a dress for obviously this big day of hers. And this dress cost more than the suit I had when I got married. And I mean, the suit I got when I got married was actually very cheap. I think it was like £100. And this dress was like 160. And I was just thinking, what's the point?
She's never going to wear that again.
Like, again, she's not going to wear it all day. She'll be sick on it or something. Like, and then Mrs. R&R will say, let's just put her in like her pajamas. She'll be more comfortable. And so, like, I keep looking at that dress. Mrs. R&R says, like, oh, isn't it beautiful? And it just keeps running in my head. Just keep flicking, thinking, why did I spend so much money on that dress?
Doesn't sound like you really had a choice, mate.
But again, it's just that same thing. I just can't let it go. That's the problem with me. But
I think with you though, you do ruminate on the good things as well. So you're very very much someone that likes to dwell on good things that happened in the past. It's not always negative.
Yeah, that's what I needed, Corporal Kmart. I think one of the points on this website should have been talk to Corporal Coma. He will make you feel better. Okay, that's what I needed. A bit of positivity in my life. Okay, thanks, mate.
Right.
So the last one we've got here is drown your sorrows, which is a common expression just to say, like, so when you're feeling disappointed, basically just go out and get drunk. Is that something did you do that after the match, for example?
No, I mean because it took about. Well, I'm not going to go into the details, but it takes so long to get home from Wembley that I think the last time I had a drink was at about 7:30 p.m. Mm-hmm. I didn't get home until about 1:30 a.m. Mm. So, no, we didn't. We just literally I just went to bed.
But in general, are you a fan of drowning your sorrows?
I think it kind of has the opposite effect, to be honest.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I kind of think drink when you're happy. If you're not happy, maybe drink is not the best thing to do.
Maybe just drugs or something like that.
Yeah, maybe some sort of really take some speed. But yeah, it's not a good idea.
No, I'm the same. I would never do that. Like, as well, I was having some beers during the match just to like calm the nerves. Oh yeah, basically. But as soon as we lost, I thought, that's it. If we had won, maybe I would have.
Absolutely, I'd have downed a bottle of vodka. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I would have definitely done something. But in fact, my plan was to run to the beach and have a swim, but didn't actually want to go outside because of the number of cars that were just going up and down my street, going just again rubbing my face in it to not let me forget. But like you said, when it's all friendly banter, absolutely no problem with that. Anyway, Corporal Coma, it's been a pleasure talking to you as always. Thanks for making me feel better, and let's hope one day England will actually deliver us a trophy.
Yeah, next Christmas, Qatar, confident.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. That's what I always say, prepare for the worst. This is one of the things I think for disappointment as well, prepare for the worst, which I kind of did throughout the tournament. I didn't expect us to get to the final. I was always, even when every match we played, I kind of thought we'll probably lose this. But yeah, never mind. So next time, Corporal Coma. So thanks again, and we'll speak to you soon. All right, speak to you soon, mate. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, so that was me and Corporal Coma speaking about how to deal with disappointment, okay? I hope you enjoyed it. There was lots of rock and roll vocabulary, as I'm sure you heard, but because there was so much, I'm just going to give you my 5 best pieces of rock and roll vocabulary, and all of the rest you will find on the website, rockandrollenglish.com/episode 233. So at the very beginning, I said I'm putting football on the back burner, so now I'm making it a low priority until the World Cup next year, if England qualify, that is, because that's not 100% sure. But another great term was it's not fair to paint everyone with the same brush. A very important term for the reasons I mentioned at the beginning of the episode of how I've been suffering recently when I've been hearing English people are this. Because, for example, there were some idiots that burnt an Italian flag before the match. Disgusting behaviour. But I'm not the same as that English idiot, so it's not fair to paint me with the same brush, to include us in the same category. A lovely term as well was when Corporal Coma said to me, it's good to sleep on it, when I mentioned about my social media post that I wanted to put on Facebook. Sometimes it's good just to have a sleep and think about it, because I really wanted to do that, to get my message out there. But then I also thought, do I want to be arguing with people on Facebook? Is that a productive use of my time? Probably not. Corporal Coma mentioned jet lag as well. So the jet lag is if you go to the other side of the world for 2 weeks where the time is different and then you come back, there's a change in the time, and that's obviously quite difficult. That's called jet lag. And Corporal Coma also mentioned that he can get by in Spain and Italy. So when you can get by, this is very useful for languages. I can't speak perfectly, but I can get by. Also, if you want to be modest, for example, when I talk about my Italian's pretty good, but I like to be modest about it. So if someone says to me, are you fluent in Italian? I will always say, I'm not fluent, but I can definitely get by. I can definitely survive without any problems. But as I said, all of the other R&R vocabulary will be on the website, rockandrollenglish.com/233. I will speak to you all soon, people, but in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.